Hey kids, today's show is brought to you by the letter 4 and the number potato! I'm a stupid private.
Previously on the Transformers.
Honestly, I could sum this episode up in 3 words. Decepticons versus zombies. So pal, is the Hans Zimmer fat mother with a tuba soundtrack ready to go?
Ready and waiting.
Then let's roll out. Now on to Transformers Prime Evolution. Fantastically generic title aside, the episode begins with quite a revelation. Apparently, the big robot dragon can transform after all, much to the surprise of Megatron and his band of backstabbing bots. Facing down an intelligent and ambitious Predacon, with his little brothers still in the oven, leaves Megatron in a bit of a bind, having lost all his Insecticons and around half his red shirts during the events of Thirst. Megatron's in no position to fight off another pretender to his throne. This is when Starscream proves why he's the number 2 Decepticon. Why risk their own lives eliminating the self-appointed Predaking when the Autobots are willing to do it for them? Speaking of, back at the hangar of Intrigue, Ultra Magnus's command style is getting on everybody's nerves. Been there.
You say something, Private?
No, Sergeant Carpenter. Before Commander Hard can finish raining on everybody's parade, he gets a pep talk from Optimus Prime. The great hero believes that Team Prime has become something more than an army. Before he can elaborate on what exactly that is, the Autobots detect a suspiciously convenient Decepticon Energon mining operation.
The hook is baited.
Once at the mine, the Autobots take out the Decepticon stormtroopers in a cool but brief fight. Then the Wreckers, Smokescreen, and Ultra Magnus break off to explore the mine, where they discover Megatron's monster factory.
The bait has been swallowed. Hook, line, and sinker.
Shockwave, who apparently didn't get the memo that an Autobot hit squad was right on his front door, oh, that Starscream, has just enough time to press the Open All Monster Storage Tanks button and ground bridge away. Wheeljack responds to this situation the only sensible way, by throwing a grenade into a pile of artificial energon.
Wheeljack, you magnificent bastard. I salute ya.
Predaking arrives just in time to find out that he is, yet again, the last Predacon. Then he figures the only thing that's gonna cheer him up now is ripping Wheeljack and Ultra Magnus limb from limb. This fight is the highlight of the episode. The two Autobots fight well, but an enraged Predacon is just too much. Ultra Magnus gets the worst of it, his hand smashed to scrap and Solus Prime's hammer broken by Predaking. Magnus and Wheeljack are ready to go meet St. Peterbilt. When, like he so often does, Optimus Prime swoops in to save the day, snatching his friends from Predaking's jaws.
Literally and figuratively.
While Magnus recovers, Optimus explains that a family is greater than an army, and that's just what Team Prime has become.
Oh, that's stupid.
Back at the Decepticon cloning lab, the interaction between artificial energon, clone juice, and explosives has produced an interesting side effect. A whole load of those robotic vine things. So I guess Plan A, Cyberform Earth, is back on. Like the last episode, Thirst, Evolution is a setup episode, mainly dealing with establishing the new status quo. Thankfully, the fossil scavenger hunt is dealt with. Development-wise, the episode is split between Ultra Magnus and Predaking. It seems to be gradually dawning on Magnus that his by-the-book command style just doesn't get results in his new environment. This is definitely a step in the right direction. And after the loss of Solus Prime's forge and his hand, Magnus might be ready to move on. Predaking, on the other hand, is a different case. I think as a mute killing machine, he was far more threatening. Maybe it's because of the voice they gave him, or maybe it's the fact that he's sort of naive. He'll eventually figure out that Megatron's playing him like a cheap fiddle, but until that happens, you could almost feel bad for the poor guy. I mean, he is the last of his kind, after all. Now let's weigh out the pros and the cons in Evolution and get our final score. The big reveal of Predaking and Starscream's reaction to him are both awesome and hilarious, respectively. Speaking of Starscream, this is really Starscream's episode to shine and show that he's cunning and devious enough to be number 2. Also, the battle between Ultra Magnus and Predaking was the highlight of the episode. Unfortunately, a formidable entrance doesn't necessarily translate into a strong presence for Predaking. Also, this episode feels like it has a lot of lengthy dialogue sequences in it, which aren't really all that exciting. Sort of a mixed bag of an episode. I give Transformers Prime Evolution 3.5 out of 5. Thanks for watching. I'm the Stupid Private.
That's all, folks.